Oh, what's this? Looks like a pile of detritus. Let's put it together and destroy, destroy. Ah! Time for Wakeangel 2001's Construx Retrospective.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the OG Construx Retrospective. So yesterday I built the semi-truck tractor. The back part will be the trailer, so the front part's the tractor, right? And I kind of like how, I didn't mention this, but look, you could theoretically hitch up a trailer to this. So like, if you bought yourself another giant Construx set, you could make yourself a huge box with wheels in the bottom and attach it to the back of this thing and, you know, drive that around. Of course, I only have the one giant Construx set, and it's not like I can go out and buy another one. But it's a little bit on the nose, right? I mean, it's a big old toy truck, and, you know, kids like to play with toy trucks. And I guess this is a good place to mention the etymology of the Construx brand. It was originally owned by Fisher-Price in the 80s, and Mattel acquired it in the 90s, which is when they repackaged it as this style of Construx. So I can see how, like, for Fisher-Price, a big toy truck like this would be something that they would do. But in the 90s, aiming for a slightly older audience, a lot of the stuff that's in that book that we'll get to later could be for bigger kids. And then they just kind of sort of retired it. And I do believe that the reason why Mega Bloks, which is also owned by Mattel, got renamed Mega Construx was basically so that Mattel wouldn't lose the trademark on the Construx name. Because you know, like, if you don't use a name for long enough, you can lose your trademark on it, and then someone else will take it. That's why Firestar got renamed Nova Star in Transformers, you know. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing in the set. I should have opened the box first. That one's on me. So we are going to do the second item on the list, which is the giant spaceship. That would be that one. Yep, so that spaceship obviously takes some design cues from Star Wars. Specifically, it kind of looks like the Imperial shuttlecrafts. You know, like the ones that Darth Vader was ferried around in, and it would land by folding up its wings like a dainty little butterfly. So I remember when I was a kid, I would actually put my Star Wars figures in this because, you know, like Star Wars, you know, the Star Wars vehicles, even for 4-inch figures, were quite large, and the only one that I actually had was Luke Skywalker's X-Wing. I didn't really have any of the Star Wars vehicles. So it's kind of cool, like with this, I could build another one. Alright, so let's go ahead and do it.
Okay, before we revert back to live action, I wanted to take some nice pictures in high resolution of the ship as built. I had to put it on my stove because it's really the only surface in my house where there's a nice white wall behind it. Anywhere else there would be like furniture or a window which would kind of get in the way. And yeah, that's the ship. It can accommodate a little rider. You see my Angel the dog is sitting in there. And has a cool display stand, which we'll talk about during the live action portions. And it took about 50 minutes. I started at 2, I finished at 2:50, so 50 minutes to build the ship. Although I might have been able to build it faster if the set was newer and I wasn't worried about breaking plastic.
And that is the not Star Wars spaceship. Check it out, it's kind of huge, huh? There was one flaw in the instructions. Somewhere around here on the back, it specified that this tiny little gap was supposed to have a piece stuck in, except that with this piece there's no way that another piece would fit. I mean, I guess like 20 years ago when this was new, the plastic would have had the flexibility to stretch around, but a lot, you know, like, with how old the plastic is, some of it has gotten a little bit more brittle than it used to be. I actually did snap one of the pieces. I've repaired it with crazy glue, but, you know, like, I don't want this to be a regular thing. This is a very old set, and I do not want to shatter it. Maybe that's why building sets like this kind of fell out of fashion, because after a long period of time, the plastic tends to get a little bit more weaker and brittle than it used to be back in the day. With the Lego brick building system, you don't have to worry about that too much, but when parts have to stretch and snap into each other, it's a little bit more of an issue. But enough talk about plastic tolerances. Let's talk about the actual thing. You got an articulated little laser turret down here underneath the cockpit, which can still take my little rider. Got a few cargo doors on the side that can open. And as you saw in the pictures, it comes with a convenient display stand. Like, you can just stick that right in there. And if you don't want the display stand, you just want to freehand it, all you gotta do is disconnect two attachment points. It's not that it's super hard, it's that I'm going out of my way to make sure I'm doing it as gently as possible because I don't want to damage any of this plastic. So yeah, with the flight stand is removed, you now just have a spaceship that you hold in your hand. And like I said, Construx makes some pretty big stuff. I mean, look at this. When I'm sitting here, the tips of the wings are broader than my shoulders, and the tail fin is taller than my head. So that's a pretty big construction. Making something like this out of smaller Lego bricks would have made it a lot of pieces. And aside from the fact that there was two pieces that couldn't fit because of the way that as specified in the instructions, in the instructions it specified you put panels on one side of the tail fin, but not the other, leaving this one looking really hollow, so I just stuck 3 extra panels in there. It's worth noting that even though it doesn't specify in the instructions to put them there, the kit actually gives you enough parts. So like, you have enough panels to do it if you want, and you can help flesh out your little spaceship. Now the wings, I know I said that in the Imperial shuttles, they do the thing where their wings fold up like dainty butterflies. This doesn't do that. The wings do not move. So it's just this. You got it in flight mode. You know, that's probably why they included a display stand, because the way these wings go, like, you can't set this thing down. It'll just slump over. But yeah, that is a really cool Star Wars-esque spaceship design. Really, really good. So, let's get this off to the side. And the next model that is specified in the instruction book is the robot. And this one was my favorite when I was a kid, so can't wait to show that one off. Alright, so thank you all for joining me on another Construx Retrospective. This is Wakeangel2K1 signing off. Oh, you know, I was about to sign off, but then I remembered there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Down here at the bottom of the ship, there are these things that you'll see what these parts are for in later constructions. But here, the instructions tell you to attach them, but I don't really know why. They just kind of like rotate around in the bottom. They don't really connect to anything. They don't connect to the support base. They don't connect to any other parts of the ship. They're just kind of there. I don't know what they're for. Anyway, they don't really get in the way, but it is kind of weird that they just kind of stuck them there. So, yes. So, okay, now I'm really signing off.